All right, so I recommend starting with a primary color palette, learning how to mix your secondary colors, and then how to gray down colors using complements. This will give you a good foundation in color mixing, and then you can add other colors to your palette later when you have a full understanding of how to mix colors using the primaries. The primaries I've chosen are ultramarine blue from Utrecht, cadmium yellow lemon from Utrecht, and then permanent rose from Winsor & Newton. It doesn't really matter the brands you choose or even the color names. On the palette I put down the pigment codes because color names vary from brand to brand, so you should really go by pigment code. But in any case, we're gonna use these colors, and let's just get started. Obviously, these are the primaries. I'm going to mix the secondary colors. So right here, I'm gonna mix orange, violet or purple, and then green. You know, see if we can get some vibrant secondary colors. We'll mix the orange first. This is a replacement for alizarin crimson. The alizarin crimson is what's known as a fugitive color, meaning it's not light fast. Violet or purple. Now this is going to be really dark, so we're going to add some white to it to just kind of lighten it up so we can actually see what we've got. All right, so I'm going to mix in a little bit of titanium white. Okay, that's actually a nice purple. Green here. Now the next thing to learn how to do or to experiment as a beginner is to learn how to gray down your colors using complements. So the complement is opposite, the color that's opposite on the color wheel. These are complements here. The red and the green are complements. And so let's do a couple mixes here. We will do a primarily green mix and add a little bit of red. All right, so that's made a sort of warmer, duller green, kind of more like an olive. Now let's put out some of this. Let's add a little bit of white to that so that you can kind of see. This is going to make a really radiant pink. All right, so say that's too much saturation for us. We want to dull that down. So we're going to add a touch of green to that. It dulls down that pink. All right, same thing, we can dull down the orange using the opposite on the color wheel, so we'll add a little bit of blue to that. A grayed down orange makes brown. Add a little bit of white to the blue so that it's more visible. Add some of this orange to gray it down. It actually turns it towards green. Kind of almost an aqua. Let's put some yeah, so definitely less radiant. And yeah, kind of going towards a blue-greenish color. Well, might as well keep going around here. So I'll add some yellow. I'm going to add a little bit of this violet or purple to it. And that will dull down the yellow. And the blue in that is making this look sort of green. Again, say we wanted to make this less green and more gray. We could add, what would we add to this? So the opposite on the color wheel of green is red. You could gray it down using an orange color, or you could use some of this red. And let's see what happens. Almost heading towards yellow ochre. Yeah, kind of like a yellow ochre color. Let's do the violet here, or purple. I'm just going to call it purple from now on. Okay, we add a little bit of yellow to it, and that should, you know, dull it down a bit or gray it down a bit, which it did. Almost heading towards like a black. Let's see if we add white to it. Yeah, definitely like a gray, but in the blue family for sure. So that's a good exercise, is to mix your secondaries okay? And just different variations of your secondaries as well. I mean, obviously you could, you know, if we add more, it's more yellow here, to see what kind of varieties of colors you get. So here's a, you know, here's a green that's much lighter. Here's a darker green. So just depending on the mix of, you know, the mixture between the two. And then, and you could do the same up here as well. You could add more yellow to your, you know, orange mixture here, just to see the varieties you can get. And let's do one with a bit more red. What I really want to know is, can I get an effective blue-green? So that would be somewhere in here. My feeling is I'm not going to be able to get a really strong sort of aqua or blue-green. That's a pretty dull blue-green. I'm going to add a little bit more white. Yeah, that's pretty dull. Like I said, this is good for beginners to start and experiment mixing with these colors, and it could be good to just go out and do like some landscape painting using these colors. Colors outdoors in the landscape tend to be grayed down quite a bit. Let's see if I add white to this, if I could get some kind of good ocean colors. Yeah, it's pretty pale, but it could work. It's a nice color for sure. All right, so I realize when you're a beginner, going outdoors and painting on location can be really intimidating and kind of frustrating and overwhelming. So a good option would be to paint from a photograph. Like you could print something, you know, print a photograph. And I would recommend that over mixing and matching on a like a computer monitor, because the computer monitor is illuminated and it's kind of hard to mix a color and hold your brush up and see if you're matching the color. Whereas if you have a print or a photograph, you can mix the color and then hold it up right next to the print and see how close you are. All right, so mixing colors using primaries is the foundation of color mixing. So this is a good place to start. Hopefully you found this fun and informative. Let me know if there's any other mixing exercises you'd like me to do. Let me know in the comments below. And that's about it for now. So thanks for hanging out, guys. See you in the next video.